Hey, cutie pies, it is Lanikia, and I am coming to you with another episode of General Hospital, a recap review. Um, don't forget, if you're looking to work from home, I do have some work from home videos on the channel. You just have to go through. I drop them every Tuesday and Friday, excuse me, Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. All right, General Hospital today. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it like an 8.5 because it was pretty good to me. All right, getting people out of the way so that I can go to the meat of the episode. We see Sasha and Brendo. Okay, so Sasha and Brendo finally have made it in from their honeymoon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I forgot these two were on the show. I forgot. I said, oh, they did get married. So Sasha and Brendo went and got married, and they are on home for their honeymoon. And she just wants it to be them. She wants them to be in their own little world just a little while longer, just to enjoy the honeymoon phase. Child, that ain't gonna happen because Gladys is there because they're at the restaurant. I think it was Mitchell Court, but Gladys is there. So Gladys is like, oh, y'all are here. If I had known y'all were here, I would have met you or whatever. And she wants to have dinner with them, so she picking up lunch. Now Gladys is there picking up lunch because she had talked to Lucy, Maxie, and Brooklyn earlier, and they're excited about the launch of their IPO April 5th. I was like, oh, so it's about to be something going on. Somebody gonna get killed. Somebody gonna get stabbed. It's gonna be a serial. Something's about to go on, a bomb or something. Because y'all know, anytime they having a party, something about to go down. So they're really excited. And Gladys had come in, and she was like, she wanted to buy some shares, and they were like, no, girl, you cannot buy it early. um, but what you can do is buy some lunch. And so that's why she was over there and why she ran into Brando and Sasha. So then they're all talking. So Maxie, after Gladys leaves, Maxie, Lucy, and Brooklyn are speaking, and they're just talking about the IPO and how they're going to throw a party. It's going to be all nice, and they're starting to plan it. And Lucy said, "Oh, Brooklyn, did you ask Chase? Because I know that you and Chase are they was living together, they was helping each other out." She was like, "So I know that y'all are close or whatever. Did you ask him so that we could get it all together with him?" And about singing at the party for talent. And Brooklyn is like, no, I didn't ask him. And she tells Lucy and Maxie she doesn't want to ask him. And Lucy's like, like, we need talent. And he's like, we need him there. And then Lucy was like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm going to go eat some gummies. And so Maxie was like, okay, I'll talk to her. And Maxie's like, Brooklyn, why don't you want him there? And she was like, or do you not want to be around him? And she was like, I do want to be around him. This is what Brooklyn tells Maxie. That's why I can't have him there, because I really do like him, because she likes Chase. And so while this is going on, Chase is actually at the police station talking to Dante. He's getting together this baseball thing for charity. And so Dante is just like, oh, okay. Um, and he just talked to him about Brooklyn. And when he talks to him about Brooklyn, he said, okay, so sorry, Chase is not reinstated. He's just there. And he informed Dante he has like 54 more days. But by the time it's over with, the baseball game will be coming along. So he volunteered so he can have it ready. And they started talking about Brooklyn and everything. And Dante was going a little hard. And Chase had to let him know, because Dante was just like, I've known her since childhood, I believe he said, and she's always been like this, kind of selfish, spoiled little brat. And I might be paraphrasing, adding a few words, but that's what he was implying, that she was selfish, spoiled little brat, and that she did this one nice thing, but I bet she goes back to her old ways. I hope it wasn't a one-off, but it probably was. And Chase said, hold up, I don't like the way you're talking about it now. And I commend Chase for that. Like, put him in his place, because we could say a lot about Sam, but we don't. But anyways, so he puts Dante in his place, and Dante was like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry about that. And he was like, because Brooklyn's a good person, and I've gotten to know her, and she is a good person or whatever. And so that was that. And so then Chase goes over to the company, and they can hear Brooklyn, and Maxie can hear him outside talking to Lucy, because Lucy's like, oh, Chase. And so, because Maxie's like, you and Chase need to stop playing and just tell each other you like each other. So Maxie she picks Brooklyn up out the seat. Well, not picks her up, but you know how you do your friend, you pull him out the seat. And she threw Brooklyn outside and was like, hey, Chase. And so then she tells Lucy, "Where is Gladys? Say you can't trust nobody with anything. Let's go and find Gladys." And Lucy is like, "What's going on? I wanted to talk to Chase about singing at the event." And Maxie is just like, "Come on and let's go get Gladys." So she leaves Brooklyn and Chase alone, right? And so Brooklyn asks Chase about singing at the event. And she was like, "Why?" They asked him why he was there. And he said because of the charity with the baseball and everything. So Brooklyn asks Chase about singing at the event. And he tells her, no. Well, first they just catch up. But he tells her no because he's like, she asks him when he's singing a duet with Amy, the one she wrote. And he says no because he wants to, he's gonna be joining the force again soon. And excuse me, he doesn't think it'll be a good look. And she was like, I was offended with you, girl. She was like, oh, okay. I get it. Okay, cool. And he was like, "Are we good, Brooklyn?" And she was like, "Yeah, yep, yeah, we good. We're good. We're good." And so they left. He left. And I'm like, oh, let's try it again. But he did tell her he would love to see her on the baseball team. And she told him, "I would love to see you at the IPO." So maybe he'll end up showing up at the IPO. I don't know, but y'all going to get my couple together. Like, can we not have this drag on for like 3 months? If they're gonna be together, can we do it within the month, next month? Okay, so okay. So that's not them. So then they go over there to see Lucy and Maxie go over, right? Because they're going to look for Gladys. And so Gladys is sitting down with Brando and Sasha. And so she's throwing little jabs because she's upset because they got married and she didn't know about it or whatever. And she's telling Brando, "You could quit that little job at the, your shop." And he was like, "I like being a mechanic. I'm not going to do it." She was like, "All the cars that Sasha can now buy you. Yeah, yeah, well, you can keep it to fix on your cars." Who Gladys. So then Brendo had to leave, and so that left Sasha and Gladys alone. And she said, "Let me tell you how I really feel." And Gladys just lets her know that she would have liked to be there, and she hopes that she and Brendo did not rush into something crazy. And Brando and Sasha tells her, "No, like it felt good in the moment." And she said, "That's what I'm concerned about." And Sasha was like, "No, but like we want to be together. We want to be happy. We want to be in love with each other and live together as husband and wife and everything." And so that was that. And then Lucy and Maxie come with Brando. And they're like, "Gladys," because she was supposed to be bringing the food. But they come with Brando and they see Sasha and they congratulate them and everything. And Lucy says, "We want to throw y'all a big party to celebrate you guys." And Gladys and Sasha, you could tell that she's not wanting this, but Brendo is like, "Yeah, I'm with it. I think it would be nice to be celebrated, to celebrate their marriage." So they're going to throw them a big party. And then Sasha gets up and leaves, and she talks to her girl on the phone because she needs more pills to be able to get through this. I said, "Oh man, they can't even be happy because Sasha's a pill head." Anyway, so moving on from them, who do we go to that can? So moving on from them, we see that Portia and Curtis go and talk to Scotty, but he's late, but they say, "Oh, he's just a minute late." Curtis tells Portia, and he said he comes recommended by Laura. And so when Scott gets there, he tells them, the prosecutor's gonna have to, prove the case. He said, but there is a lot of reasonable doubt on this or whatever. And he says, and plus people know her and she's like, they love her. He said, having Joss and Cam speak on her behalf and all her friends and family and professors, they all love her and they just don't see her doing this. That will help, as well as having them all speak for her. That'll help. And also he would not even take the case because he considers, like, Cam a grandson. He would not take the case if for any reason he thought Trina had done something to Cam or Josh. So he was like, so that everybody, like, Trina is so wholesome, her character is so good, nobody believes this, but everybody's like, yeah, that sounds like Esme. That sounds like her. So he just tells them they're gonna have to prove it, but they can fight. He's gonna fight for them and everything. So then Portia just leans on Curtis. He tells her, "No matter what, I got you," because she's, upset about her daughter and everything. So they go to the police station. Now, while they're at the police station, remember, Spence is in there talking to Trina. So, oh my gosh, the young lady who is playing Trina is doing such a great job. Like, she is taking that role as her own. And I know it's early, but like, I see her as Trina now. Like, I see Trina whenever they're talking. I'm like, I think about her when I say Trina, or and so, and I the first day I was like, it's a little over the top, but this week she's gotten comfortable and she's really gotten into this role. So my bad for being judgmental on the first day, girl. But anyway, so she talking to Spenser, right? And Spenser is trying to tell her, why did you do this? And she was like, I can't really believe you think I did this. He was like, like, the evidence is saying you did it. And she's like, I don't care what the evidence is saying, I didn't do this. And she was like put off because she said, everybody didn't like you. They told me that you were no good and I defended you. So now where's that good guy that I defended? Is he not there? Because that guy would know that I did not do this or whatever. He said, and she was like, but Esme, has your mind so gone that you're really believing her over me? You really think I did this? And so he's just like, I don't know what to believe. Yes, you do. You know what to believe. And he's like, Esme is done, been there for my family and everything. And she was like, what are you talking about? And and he says, because he went to telling her, like, you were blacked out, you were drunk, so you don't remember what you did. You could have done anything and you don't know. He's really trying to convince her, like, you're not going to convince Trina that she's guilty because she knows she's not, sir. So then he tells her that Esme is pregnant. Baby, Trina was hurt. She was hurt when she heard this news. But she pulled herself together. And y'all see the new cop in the background. He was like me. What's going on? I'm looking. I want to hear everything. What's going on? So he was like me. He was looking, listening. And so he's like, okay. So the Spenser is like, she's pregnant or whatever. She was like, Trina was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. So for you to believe Esme, because now you're connected to her and she's having your child. So for you to believe her, that she's the best, that for you to believe the best of Esme, you have to think the worst of me. And she was like, okay, you know what? If you can look me in my eyes and tell me that you really think I did this, then go ahead. You could leave. And he was like, Trina, I want you to understand. And she was like, no, what I understand is that you've ruined my life since you've came into my life. And now I'm sitting here in a jail cell, like in an interrogation room, going to, with charges and everything, could possibly go to prison because of your girlfriend. And you want me to understand? You got to leave. And he was like, Trina, and she stood up and said, leave. And then the security guard was like, it's time for you to leave. Let's go. Follow me. So he leaves out or whatever. And I felt bad for Trina because she has been defending Spenser or whatever. And like, he flipped on her completely. Like, Spenser was like, I don't know you, girl. You probably did do this. It's one thing to want Esme because Esme has helped you or whatever. Oh, and that's another thing too. He gonna tell Trina, and look at all the stuff Esme did for me because she was in love with me. And look what you did. You lied. Because remember, Trina didn't tell Jordan that Spenser was out. He said, maybe I had that same impact on you. I could not. I said, are you serious, sir? Are you serious right now? And Trina was me too when she was like, are you tripping? You are tripping. Not for a second would I do this. I wouldn't go that far to plant a video of my best friends and post it for you. Trina has no dog in this fight. Nothing at all. So it didn't even make sense. But you're reaching. You were reaching hard on that one. And so he leaves out or whatever, and Portia comes in, and Curtis, and she sees Spenser, and she says, I know you didn't show up here after what your girlfriend has done to my daughter. And so Curtis said, no, Dante said, is there going to be a problem? And she says, I don't have time for you today because I have to worry about my daughter or whatever. So Curtis tells her, just focus on Trina. And she goes in there with Trina. And while she's doing that, Dante tells Spenser, it probably is best for you to leave because Trina and her mom are going through, they're going through it right now and they're having to do all this, and all you're going to do is make them upset. And Spencer was like, yeah, you're right. And so he leaves. And then Trina goes in and she was like, Mom, I didn't do it. And Portia was like, excuse me, y'all, sinus. Baby, I went outside and my car, because it stormed bad, like tornadoes were dropping today. And it was so, I was like, oh, my car clean. I don't even have to wash it. And now it's full of pollen again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to wash it again. Like, I need to buy a tarp. Anyways, so Trina, she just tells Portia, I didn't do this. And she said, I know, baby. And we're going to get who did this, but you stay strong. And so they walk out and Trina is going to her arraignment. Hopefully she gets bail. Y'all been not to say deny her bail because Trina has done nothing. And even Scott said she didn't gain anything by doing this. Like she gained nothing by doing this or whatever. So then I'm sorry, I'm looking at I have the General Hospital replaying in the back, and I saw when Maxie pushed Brooklyn out there. But anyways, so she had nothing to gain for this. Now we go to the meat of the episode for me, the best part. Esme and Sonny. So he tells Esme, I'm glad you came. And she said, I didn't have a choice. He said, my associate is not like me, I'm sorry. He's a little hot headed and whatever. Anyway, girl, you all right. And so she's in there with Sonny and he says, Esme, I just need you to tell me um why you did this, and just say you did it and it can all go away. And she's like, I didn't do anything, Mr. Corinthos. I promise you. She said, I thought you forgave me, like. And he said, I did forgive you. It was like, yeah, you went after Avery, which she was wrong for that. Sonny said, you went after my daughter with the whole, what is a teddy bear, and then the telling him that Nickolas and Ava had fled with Avery. He said, you lied to me, and that's why we have a problem. And she said, you told me you forgave me. He said, I did, but now you're going after Jocelyn and you're going after Trina, and we both know Trina is innocent of this. We know you did it or whatever. And she just keeps saying, I didn't do anything. I can't say I did something when I didn't do it or whatever. And Sonny's just like, don't do that. Told her, don't do that. Don't be the victim. We both know you did this, and an innocent girl is behind bars because of something that you did. And she just tells him, no, I didn't. So then Sonny sits down and he tells her, we're not going anywhere until you confess. And then he tells her, you know, he was really getting through to Esme because he was telling her that sometimes we do things that we regret, and sometimes we take it too far. And but if we could just unburden what we've done, people might be okay with it if you just confess. Now she about to confess, right? Because Esme had tears in her eyes, but who knows? It might not even be real tears. And but then here come Nickolas. Now Nickolas and Victor have figured out that Esme is with Sonny because Nickolas was like, where's Sonny? Where's Esme? And he was like, she said she was gonna be right back. And Victor was like, oh, I saw it in a car. And he was like, it was a rather expensive car for somebody with her means. You know what I mean? She ain't got money to be driving, getting an Uber in that car. And he was like, let me call Esme. So he goes to call Esme or whatever, and her phone is outside. And then he remembers Esme telling him that that she thinks she was going to have problems with Sonny because of this, because of Joss and everybody thinking that she did the video. And so he tells Victor, because he had already told Victor that, told Nickolas that Esme could possibly be pregnant with Spenser's baby. And so they're like, oh, that's another Cassadine that we have to protect or whatever. So when they find out it's Sonny, they go to Sonny's office. So Nickolas brought his nosy cell phone over here to Esme because she playing him like a fiddle. And he's trying to go through the security guard to get to Esme. And the security guard will not let him pass. Esme in the office screaming, help me. And I'm like, girl, not Esme. And then she runs out of the office and runs right into Nickolas' arms like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And Victor had went with Nickolas and he was like, Sonny, I can't believe you did this. And Sonny was like, we were just talking. And so Nickolas leaves with Esme or whatever. And here go Victor Cassadine talking about you Nick Sonny said we're done here, and Victor said no, we're just getting started. Now, Victor, nobody's scared of you. You can't even take control of Drew. Like, you can't even get the situation you got going with Drew together. But I still like you, Maxwell. But you can't even get that all together. So nobody's scared of you on this. But anyways, he tells Sonny, like, you've been, no one messes with the Cassadines. And Sonny, like, Spenser is my nephew. He's my family too. So if somebody's in his head giving him wrong information or whatever, like Esme is doing, I'm gonna do what I have to do to protect him or whatever. And Victor gonna tell Sonny, you don't want to go against the Cassadines or whatever. And Sonny told him, I've been up against men um more powerful and intimidating than you, and I'm still standing. So if you want to fight, I'll bring it or whatever. It's nothing. I don't know how this gonna play out because Ava's gonna end up, excuse me, getting caught in the middle. So then Ava's gonna get caught in the middle because she's with Nickolas. Nickolas is believing everything Esme does. Sonny and Ava have Avery. They both know Esme is crooked. This is a mess. And so then they go back to, I guess, Kelly's or whatever, and Esme is there. No, there wasn't at Kelly's. I don't know where they went to. There's some kind of coffee shop. So they go back there, and Esme is like, "Oh my God, you saved me again!" And she hugged all up on Nickolas when Spenser comes in. I'm like, "Child, this is a mess." But that was General Hospital today, guys. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow for a new episode.